people of Bala town, it is every trophy in Wales. Bow down to me, for I am your king. Look at what I have brought you. Bow down, worship me, worship. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome to the Summer Transfer Special as we go from Season 7 into Season 8. And this is going to be a big summer for us, I hope. We'll have a quick look here. You can see this is how sort of last season ended up for us. We leave that behind us now and we move on. We have just only £11 million to spend in the transfer window. I don't think, it's not that we couldn't spend it, it's that the players that want to come to us aren't worth that much. So, we have that money anyway. We have a wage budget. Right now we're spending 42 grand a week. We can go up to 100 and almost 117 grand a week. So we've got a lot of money to spend on wages if we want to. Again, I'm still a little bit cautious on going too big on wages just yet because we don't have the stadium capacity to sort of cover it if we don't, if we sort of crash out in Europe early. So that's kind of where we're standing right now. Club vision wise, you can see we're upgrading the facilities. I don't think that money has come out of the budget as of yet, out of the finances. So that's going to drop us down a little bit more. We're at May 6th. I think the Champions League final is still to be played. So that should mean we get a little bit more cash coming in, from TV money once that is determined. So yeah, hopefully, anyway, we'll get a little bit more from that. We did make the group stage, so we should get something. But that's then going to lead us into what we want to do this summer, isn't it? If I'm looking at the squad, we need a striker. We still have not yet found... We know Allmark can score the goals for us in the league. To be honest, scoring goals in the league is not our problem. Because it was just not our problem. What we need is we need to find a striker for Europe. And if I'm looking elsewhere, I think I'd like to upgrade it right back as well. I'm just not sure that Jay Jenkins has a future with us. He's almost at his potential. He's 21. He's just technically not as good as I would like. So I think I might look to get him out and get in a better right back. And then we still have Ryan Sears then to be back up, which is, I think, if we're honest with ourselves, at the very top level, he's not quite good enough for Europe. So I'd like to get another right back in. In terms of the loanees, I would sign Gavin Grant permanently, I think, but I don't know if I'll loan him back. And he's worth a little bit of cash as well, so I don't know if that's going to work out for us. I would like to get Duffy Thomas back. I'm not against getting Duffy Thomas back. I think the problem that we might have with that is that we've got young Marcus Baker coming through a right wing up, who's looking very, very good. And we also, of course, have Callum Connolly, who was a star at times last year. Mentally, I'm not sure if he's going to quite cut it. Physically, he's quite good. And we do, of course, have Ap Gareth as well, who can play down that right-hand side. So whether we want to get a loanee in again in Duffy Thomas that in a position that is of relative strength, I'm not sure. But he was very important for us in the European games last year. So it might be something we look to do. I don't think Ruben Ferguson quite did it for us. And I don't think Owen Casey's done enough to warrant getting him back or even signing him permanently. But anyway, we'll wait and see where this summer takes us. We've got a lot of players wanted by clubs as well. Bussenbrew will be officially leaving us. Sam York is wanted by Bristol City. Professor McGonigal is only wanted on loan. That's fine. Lowry's wanted by Aberdeen. I would consider selling him permanently if we've got a good fee for him. Dan Williams is wanted as well. He's leaving anyway, just a youngster. Again, we probably will have to fight off offers for Connor Gosney. Reece Williams is wanted as well. Do we look to move Reece Williams on perhaps? I think we want to keep him though. And Rima Miles as well is wanted. So it could be a summer of trying to hold on to players as much as trying to sign them. We saw that last summer. We lost a couple of big ones. But yeah, let's get this show on the road. Alright, we have a few Welsh League awards. First of all, Damien Allmark is named the Welsh League Player of the Year. 25 appearances, 27 goals in the league, 47 voting points. I'm going to say that is a well-deserved trophy for Mr. Allmark. He also won the top goal scorer in the league, 27 goals. Next best was Marcus Wade with 22, so he won that at a canter as well, so well done on that one. Professor McGonigal wins the best rookie of the year. I think that is very, very well deserved. He surprised even me how good he was this year. 16 appearances, 1 goal, 10 assists from 16 games, average rating of 7.9. That is absolute class from young McGonigal. I won Manager of the Year. Hooray for me. Chairman is pleased with that. And team of the season, we know that we don't always get too many because we seem to rotate, or we do rotate a lot in the league. But Mullenstein, Reece Williams, and Damien Allmark are the three that get themselves into the team of the year. So well done, particularly to Damien Allmark. That was one hell of a season. Alright, the Champions League has concluded. Liverpool have beaten Chelsea in the final. Ansu Fati, for the people watching the Leeds United save, he got a double in the final, so well done to Liverpool. But if we're going to have a quick look at some records here, Rima Miles set a new Champions League record with 10 clean sheets. Now, yes, obviously we got a few of those in the qualifying rounds, but nonetheless, Rima Miles of Bala Town, 10 clean sheets, Champions League record holder. Nicely done. Alright, we have our commercial summary for the season. Sponsorship was down slightly, which is a little bit disappointing, and there's no new deals either, which is a bit of a piss-off, to be honest, but that's okay. Corporate hospitality was up a little bit. That's the Champions League money for you, isn't it? Matchday revenue was up a little bit as well, which is nice. Broadcast revenues was up 300,000, which is nice, and competition prize money, 18.5 million. Thank you very much. Excellent stuff. We did get a tax bill, which is unfortunate. But, you know, we've got to do our part for the NHS, don't we? We can see there the scouting budget. We'll move some more money into the budget just to make sure that we can scout properly. We probably need, what do we need? About 700, I think. So there we go. That'll make sure we can scout the world properly for next season. And this is not someone that we want to sign. All right. Where are we at? June 8th. So contracts will be expiring soon. I'm just keeping an eye on see if any players are transfer listed, sort of coming towards the end of the domestic season. So, yeah, hopefully signings will start happening soon. Well, welcome back to Bala Town, mate. It's always great to have the legends coming back. Yeah, look, mate, I know the contract says coach, but I don't think we're going to be getting you to do much coaching, to be honest. Think of this maybe more as a ambassadorial role. So a legend has returned, Denny Gossé. We've signed him as a coach, £1,500 a week, plus a bonus if we win the league, for basically the world's worst coach. So he's not interested in getting a new coaching badge either, so hopefully he'll change his mind on that one. But it's good to have him back. He can put the cones out. He sort of, I think, be sort of more my PA. Him and Duffy can kind of run the office for me. Yeah, it's a shame you can't do sort of an ambassadorial sort of actual contract in the game. That would be sort of a nice thing. That's the sort of role I think I'd like to get him back into. But yeah, he's here as a coach, and we're paying him a lot of money. Alright, welcome back. It is a Champions League draw time. Now you can see here we've moved up 2 places to 51st after last season. If we go down here, I know it's a lot of numbers all the time. Where are we here? So this is Bala Town here. Now we're defending 8 coefficient points this year. Now we got 8 coefficient points last year. So we're going to have to do better than last year to stand still, basically. So this is where it starts to get a little bit challenging for us. Next year, of course, will be 5 years since we made the quarterfinals of the Euro 2 Cup, and then we have got some points to defend. So it starts to get a little bit tougher for us now, climbing up the sort of the coefficient table here. But we'll see how we do. That's all we can do. Transfer window is, I think it's open. We've had bids coming in for a few players. Derby County is interested in Paul McVeigh. We're going to try and fight off those bids, certainly until they get a lot higher. Who was it? Hull, I think it is, that are after Gosney, and Bristol City is after Sam York. No one really wants to leave. So as long as that stays the case, then we're good to go. So have a quick look here, though, at the first round Champions League draw. We are seeded. We're now the second highest ranked team in the seedings here, which is excellent. So there's unseeded teams down there. There's no point going through them all. Let's just draw everybody out here and see who it is we get in the first qualifying round. Now, kind of like last season, if we get someone that's going to be a bit of a challenge for us, I think, then we'll end the episode before we play that, and that'll be sort of the first episode of the new season. If it's someone that looks very beatable, then I'll just play through it and show you the highlights like we did last year. Now, that team that Dinamo Zagreb got, that's who we played last year, I think, and absolutely smashed them. We've got a Malta side there. I wouldn't mind playing them. No, we don't get quite so lucky there. Apoel would be a tough one. We don't get them. Legia Warsaw would be a tough one. I'm assuming that the first teams coming out must be the seeded teams. No, because Partizan was seeded, so there goes that theory. Bate Borisov, rather avoid them, and we do. And I tell you what, that's a tough first round tie. Sparta Prague gets Faroe Islander opposition. I thought for a second that was going to be us. Oh, here we go. Do we get the preliminaries round? No, we do not. They get the Karabag. we'll tell you what, we're going late in the draw here. Lithuanian opposition, they go to Northern Ireland. Montenegrin, they are playing Armenian opposition. Bala Town, here we go. Who do we get? We get Slovakian opposition. Now, did we play them relatively recently? I think we may have played them not too long ago. Dundalk, and they get the Latvians. I'm sure we've played this team before. Or am I dreaming that? Have I tried to maybe sign one of their players, perhaps? I must be dreaming it. Why do I know this team's name? Anyway, I recognize that team. That's a Leeds United thing. They got into the group stage. So let's have a quick look here at what we're up against. Do they have much by the way of players? They do have players. Now they have some decent players. So we may have to show this as the first episode of the new season, because that could be a little bit touch and go. I'll kind of see how we're going. I haven't decided what to do with that just yet. Now this of course brings us to the second qualifying round, so let's go and have a quick look. We'll just draw all the teams out and see who we would be getting. So if we were to go through, we would be getting Molde or Sheriff Tiraspol. So you'd imagine Molde, but again, that's going to be a tougher draw, the Norwegian champions. So there we go. That's the Champions League draws underway. Now we just need to get some signings. Duffed, can you show Denny how I like my tea, please, mate? He can't get it right. Hello? Manchester City. Well, how can I help you? You want to offer me a job interview? I mean, it's tempting. It is very, very tempting, and I'm flattered. I really am. But I'm sorry, I'm going to have to turn you down. Why? Well, Bala's a bigger team, aren't they? So there we go. We were offered a job interview at Manchester City, third in the Premier League last year. Look at Bournemouth up there, fourth in the Premier League as well, ahead of Liverpool. Go on, Bournemouth. But obviously I turned it down because I just declined the interview because, we're not here for Manchester City, no matter what Chaz wants to think. Yeah, we're here for Bala Town, but it was flattering, that's for sure, to be offered that chance to manage Manchester City. That would be a big jump, wouldn't it, from Wales to third in the Premier League. But anyway, our transfer window is open. It is now July 1st, and that means we have one official player that has joined us, Matteo Martin. We did know we were signing him. He's a both-footed winger, can play either side, and potentially as a number 10, and potentially as a striker, though he can't really finish, so he's not going to be playing there. So really, really good signing he is. I'm thinking he will probably play down the left. It'll sort of be between him and Maurice, I think, as to who takes sort of the main spot there. He's a Spaniard, he's 22, he's been sort of all around the championship in England and done okay. So hopefully he'll take the step up now with us and be a really, really good player for us. Now, transfer window obviously open means that also contracts have expired. If we just have a quick look at players who have been released, there has been a few. Luke Bussenbrew has sadly left the building. Actually, we need to add him to the old favourite shortlist. We'll go and have a look at that at some point, the old favourites. No one's really done anything too much. Everyone's pretty much where they left us to go to. Daniel Williams has left. He was useful, but I just don't think we were going to use him. Jaycock has left. He was on quite a bit of cash, $1,700 a week, so we've let him go. And Andy Williams is just a youngster that looks good, except is he, though? He can't tackle, he can't pass. Yeah. He's got good mentals. Maybe he'll make a decent coach. Anyway, now that the window is open, contracts are expired. I'm hoping that we'll get some transfers across the line, and soon, because that what's it called? Squad registration for the Champions League is coming up fast. Okay, we have breaking news of a loan signing. Ricky Jackman has joined us on loan for the season. He's a 21-year-old striker. We've got him from Birmingham City, of all places. We're going to be paying £3.2 or £3,200 a week of his wages. He's rated a B signing by the fans. Let's have a look at what we've got here. And, well, basically, I have a plan. This is my plan, just try and score goals in Europe. We're going to try a target man. Just try and hold the play up for us, link everything in. Now, physically, he's quite good. He's pacey. He's got good jumping reach, which I like, good acceleration, good first touch. Where he lacks and where my plan may fall down a little bit with him is passing and, more importantly, vision and teamwork, which isn't great. But I guess we're going to try it. We're going to see if it works. He can play as a target man. So we'll just try and see what happens. And he can play a number of roles. He's not a bad, it's just, as I said, it's just the passing and the vision that really lets him down, teamwork perhaps. But Yeah, that's Ricky Jackman. He's joining us on loan for the year. Have a quick look, actually, how he's done previously. He's not really played that much football, a little bit in the Premier League, a little bit in the Championship, but not too much. So let's hope, we'll give him a chance. Let's hope he takes it. We are game day of the first qualifying round of the Champions League. I'm confident we can get through, so I am going to play through that one, and we'll show you the highlights. Hopefully there'll be some goals as well, some signings as well. Alright, breaking news, and we have a Wonderkid at Bala Town, Tommy Dudzinski. We've got him on loan for the year from Tottenham. We're paying him £3,500 a week, a B+ rated signing by the fans. Let's have a look at what we've signed. Tommy is a midfielder / winger. Yeah, really excited to have a Wonderkid. I don't know if he's going to turn out to be some sort of superstar of the game, but we've got him for at least this season. My plan with him is to use him basically as the new David Thomas in Europe. I'm thinking as a wide playmaker, it would allow us to then I'm thinking maybe, I don't know if we would then play with a number 10, or it would just be another option. I'm thinking just a creative player. If we're going to have the target man, is it Jackman? I've already forget his name, up front. We could get either Maurice or Matteo Martin, our other winger, going down the left. So I'm hoping between a bit of a variation in the front line there that it'll work for us in Europe, and we'll be able to score some goals. If it doesn't work, he's more than capable of dropping back in. You can see he's got good passing, good vision, good teamwork and work rate, decent tackler as well. And he could, as a stretch, play as a striker as well. So he's a really good player. As I said, we got him for the year on loan from Tottenham. He played 5 times in the Premier League last season. So he's probably the best player we've had at the club yet, you could make the argument for. So I'm really excited to have him, valued at £11.5 million as well. So that is Tommy. Welcome to Bala Town, mate. Now, we did play the first leg of our Champions League qualifier. Let's go and see how we did. We took the lead when Ryan Murphy played in Damien Allmark, and we pounced on a poor goal kick moments later for Adam Maurice to double our lead. Ewan Dixon crossed for Allmark late in the second half for our third, before Paul McVeigh picked out Callum Connolly for our fourth. And Allmark rounded out a European hat-trick in stoppage time. So there we go, it was another comfortable first qualifying round win for us. Allmark with the hat-trick, what a way to start the European season for him. Maurice and Connolly, the two wide players getting on the score sheet as well. It was more or less the team that finished last season for us. Mullenstein is still in. Burke is back from his broken leg, but still coming back to fitness. So Mullenstein got the start in this one, and he's doing a decent job for us, old Mullenstein. So it might be the season where, as good as Burke has been, I mean, Burke's not old, so it's not like we need to phase him out. He's 25, so, but I just wonder if ability-wise, it might just be the season where Burke starts to drop back a little bit and Mullenstein maybe starts to take over. But a really good, solid first leg win. The second leg should be effectively a bit of a what's the word I'm looking for here? I can't think of the word. Anyway, we should win it quite comfortably. You can see we played a couple of friendlies. It was just about getting fitness those ones, so I'm not too concerned about it. In terms of bids for our players, we have had some regular bids coming in, but no one wants to leave. Rima Miles has had bids coming in, not from Portsmouth. I think Barnsley's coming for him. Gosney has been wanted by Hull. We've also had bids for KDH, actually had a bid from Ipswich, but we rejected that. Who else going down the list here? Kieran Topleaf has had a bid come in from Luton Town. And there was one other one, Sam York. Bristol City still wants Sam York. But again, he doesn't want to leave and we don't want to sell him. So that's all fine. But yeah, we're looking good. We should be getting into the second Champions League qualifying round. And we'll just keep looking to strengthen. We have breaking news this evening out of Bala Town as the club have smashed the Welsh transfer record with the signing of 18-year-old defender Jake O'Halloran. For more on this story, we cross live to Charles Hogan. And Charles, what can you tell us? Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, O'Halloran joins Bala Town for a fee of £500,000 from Premier League side Reading. Now, manager Aussie Villain is said to be excited by the signing and hopes that the youngster can develop into a top defender for the club. Back to you. So there we go, we have smashed the record, £500,000. The previous record I think was maybe 100,000 with the add-ons, but 500,000 for Jake O'Halloran. You can see we're going to be paying him only £950 a week, which was good. I didn't mind spending a little bit more on transfer fee, given that the wages were so low. He's kind of as a breakthrough prospect for this year. You can see very, very high potential. A B minus. Signing right now, but you can see there they can see him becoming a key player if he realizes his potential. Let's have a quick look at exactly what we have signed here, and like I say, I'm cautiously optimistic this guy is going to work out for us. We can see already he's not too bad physically. He's got the basics there, 9 passing, 9 vision of a ball-playing centre-back as well. He's already got a good header, decent marking, decent tackling, positioning's not too bad, decisions are good, which is good as well, bravery is good. I'm hoping that he will develop into a really good centre-back for us. We can see that he did not play as yet for Reading. They got promoted up to the Premier League for this coming season, so he's left the Premier League club to join us. He's in the under-19s right now. That's not where he's going to stay. He'll be up into the senior team. Yeah, and I'm just genuinely hopeful that that he'll get game time. My plan is that he will play next to KDH in a lot of league games and those sorts of games, and it might be the beginning of the end for Reece Williams at the club as well. So we'll wait and see what happens there. Now, one thing that has happened, of course, in the year 2026 is the World Cup. It's just finished. Let's go see how it did. So unfortunately for England, it was Portugal that won the final 1-0. Looks as though England maybe had as many of the chances, if not more of the chances. So there we go. That's how the final played out. We'll have a quick recap of the tournament, shall we? We'll go and have a look at all groups. So it's, of course, the 20... million team World Cup. So USA and Switzerland got through at the expense of Saudi Arabia, Turkey and South Korea at the expense of Mali, Holland and Jamaica at the expense of Venezuela, maybe an upset there, Germany and Japan at the expense of Panama, Ukraine and Canada got through at the expense of Burkina Faso, thanks to one goal, harsh on the Burkina Fasans, I would imagine that one. Brazil and Denmark got through at the expense of Costa Rica. Cameroon and Argentina at the expense of Slovakia. It was Mexico and Scotland that got through instead of the UAE. It was Austria and Senegal that got through instead of Paraguay. Poland and Ecuador and instead of Iran. It was France and Uzbekistan. Ivory Coast went out. Got to be a surprise, that one. England and Morocco went through at the expense of New Zealand. Portugal and Nigeria at the expense of Honduras. Go on. Belgium and Australia got through at the expense of Egypt. Behind my head here, we're getting to Ireland and Colombia at the expense of Dr. Congo, and Italy and Uruguay at the expense of the UAE. Now, that brings us, of course, to the second round. We can see here, USA beat South Korea, Turkey beat Switzerland, the Dutch beat the Japanese, the Germans smashed the Jamaicans, Ukraine went through on penalties against Denmark, Canada knocked out Brazil on penalties. Wow. Now, this Canadian team in real life is a decent young team, but it looks as though they were very much clinging on there. 52 shots. So well done to the Canadian goalkeeper. You've had one hell of a game there, sir. But there we go. Well done to Canada. Cameroon beat Scotland. Argentina beat Mexico. Austria beat Ecuador. Poland got through in extra time against Senegal. France smashed Morocco. England beat Azerbaijan. Portugal, Australia, second best team in the World Cup. I'm claiming it. They beat Australia. Nigeria beat Belgium. Uruguay beat Ireland, and Italy lost to Colombia. A little bit of surprise there, perhaps. That brings us to a third round. USA beat Germany. That's an upset. Turkey beat Holland. I'd say an upset again. Ukraine beat Argentina. And Canada, extra time against Cameroon. Now, of course, this was hosted, isn't it, in the US, Canada, and Mexico. So good to see the host teams getting through there. England smashed Austria. France beat Poland. Portugal beat Colombia, and Nigeria beat the Uruguayans. Brings us to the quarterfinals. USA beat Canada. That would have been a big game. So US into the semi-finals. Ukraine beat Turkey. England beat Nigeria, and a thriller between the Portuguese and the French, 4-3. That brings us to the semi-finals. Portugal beat the US, and England beat Ukraine in extra time. And of course, the third place playoff, the US on home soil got third over the Ukraine. So that's how the 2026 World Cup played out. Hopefully, there'll still be a few more signings for us to come yet. So I'll come back when there's more news. Alright, I thought we'd have a quick look at some of the old favourites and see what they're up to. So as we sort of midway through this transfer window, we can see the only player that's really would still be considered a good player for us is Đorđe Simić. He is still at Leeds United. worth £500,000. And it looks as though his career at Leeds United, I don't think he did particularly well last season. Oh no, he was on loan at Grimsby, so he didn't actually play that much for Leeds anyway, though he did get 1 goal from his single start there. So that's Simic. Everybody else kind of not going to plan, I would imagine. James Wade is transfer listed at Hull City. Nebula, he just moved this window. We got a little bit of a transfer fee from his move to Zlina, who of course we beat recently in Europe, didn't we? Ollie Denham is at Crawley Town still. Richard Bakari is transfer listed at Swindon. Henry Jones moved on from, he was at Macclesfield, I think. He's moved on to Cambridge City, not Cambridge United. We know that Neto is still at Barry Town. We see him from time to time. Everybody else, actually Jake Nichols is at Afenlido as well. But everybody else is currently unemployed. Backhill Benny, Romario Vieira, it surprises me a little bit. I thought he would have found himself another club, but he's not the player we used to have. You look at these guys now. Anthony Glennon, of course, who was club captain for a while, currently a free transfer as well. And Louis Gray, who was at Bengal City last season, he has left. Does he have a squad coaching attributes? Not as yet. So there we go. And Buston Brewer's yet to find himself a new club as well. So that's where the old favourites are. A little bit sad, some of it there, I think. Anyway, we have played the second leg of our first round Champions League qualifying tie against the Slovakians. Let's go see how that went. We took the lead after half-time when Ryan Burke crossed for Michael Stewart. But they pegged us back immediately and then went in front on the night just after the hour mark. We gifted them a third, and rounded off a horrid game by conceding a fourth. Well, that was a disaster, wasn't it? We missed the penalty in the first half with Ryan Burke. We took the lead, and then honestly, towards the end, I was a little bit nervous when they put 2 in 2 minutes, with about 5 minutes to play, that it might end badly for us. But in the end, the away goal certainly paid off. Otherwise, I think I would have a little brown stain in my pants right now. But we did get the job done, albeit very, very unconvincingly. So there we go. And it is Mulder that we will be playing in the next round. Where is it? It was back here somewhere. There it is there. So we are away from home for the first leg. So yeah, we've been able to register our players for that one. More than one for some reason this year, but that's all right. We'll take that. We've still got about we've got about 3 or 4 days before this game. So we'll see if we can get any other signings across the line, but we're running out of time. Okay, we are at game day against Mulder in the second qualifying round of the Champions League, but we did get one more signing across the line. They won't be registered for that game, of course, but he is still at the club. Rene Felge, I guess you pronounce it, Felge. Not quite sure how you say that. Anyway, he's a rated B signing by the fans. Potentially could be a really, really good player. You can see 4.5 5-star player. £300 a week. We're playing him as a future prospect. Let's have a quick look at what we signed here. We have got ourselves a target man striker. You can see really, really strong, decent. The rest of his physical capabilities, good bravery, good teamwork, which I like. Good heading, good free kicks, decent enough first touch for a youngster. I think he'll do potentially could do a really, really good job for us. We got him. He was at Manchester United, didn't get anywhere near their team, but was released by them and, of course, snapped up by us. So I hope that he'll be a decent player for us. He'll probably play in the league and cup games. I don't think we'll see him in Europe this season. But yeah, I'm quietly confident we may have got a good one there. Scouts found him. We got him in on trial. And then we've signed him. The free kick taking of 15 could be absolutely just amazing, especially if it's shooting at goal as opposed to quality of free kick delivery, because we'll probably want him in the middle. But anyway, that of course brings us to the end of our transfer special. Now, a quick look at what this leaves us with for the start of the season. Now, of course, we're only July 22nd, still over a month of the transfer window to go. But this is where we stand right now. The strikers, we're well served. We have Damien Allmark, who of course broke every... I need to shave there, Damien. Who of course broke every goal scoring record at the club last season. He'll be going for the club record this season. The record is currently Buston Brew's 69 league goals. He currently has 56, so he needs 14 goals this season, league goals this season to get that record. And given what he did last year, he's every chance, isn't he? Every chance. So that gives us now to the man we got in on loan, Ricky Jackman. Hopefully he will get the job done for us in Europe. A bit of a different tack this year. Well, hopefully it'll work for us. Michael Stewart is still at the club. He's wanted by by clubs back in Northern Ireland. I'm happy to keep him for now. He did get that goal, of course, in the Champions League first round qualifying, but we'll see how that goes. Guto Kingsley is still here, as is obviously we just seen the new man there. If we look in wide areas, I think we're well served, especially down the right here. We've got Callum Connolly, who is mentally worries me a little bit, but otherwise he's decent enough for us. The new boy Matteo Martin, who can play either side. He had a nightmare on debut in the Champions League second leg there, but I'm sure he'll get better from that. Our Wonderkid, Dudzinski, he can play out on the right hand side, and we will probably look to use him out there in Europe. Ap Gareth still at the club. We know what he can do. Didn't have a good time out in Europe, of course, but that's fine. He'll get over that. And of course, Baker, the youngster as well, can play out there. We'll look to give him a little bit more game time maybe this season if we can in cup games. Out on the left, we know that Maurice is an absolute star out there for us. Ryan Murphy can play out here, possibly won't, but is an option. Sean Davies, the youngster, is again a decent option out here. We also have, of course, Matteo Martin and Guto Kingsley, who can, but to be honest, it's not his strength. In the number 10 role, we've already seen a lot of these guys. The two that we haven't seen, though, is Paul McVeigh. We know what he can do. He's a very, very good creative player. And the main guy, club captain, of course, Ewan Dixon, who was an absolute star for us last season. Hopefully, he'll take that form into this season. And Kieran Topley can play up here, but that's not the position we're going to see him in this season. A bit further deeper in midfield, Dudzinski, we know, can play back here. But also we have Sam York, an absolute star, and of course Welsh international now as well. We know McVeigh. Curtis Owen, one of the youngsters that came through the academy, fills in, does a very, very good job in the league for us. So hopefully he'll continue to do that. Another sort of cab off the rank in terms of youngsters that have come through the academy, Daniel Owens. He can play out on the right-hand side as well as in midfield. So we'll kind of see where he develops. But he's looking as though he could possibly do either because he's a good passer of the ball, maybe a box-to-box midfielder. Other midfielders we have, of course, is Kieran Topley. Here in centre-back as well, we'll see him. Alex Lowry is still at the club, and as is, of course, Professor McGonigal, who was an absolute revelation for us last season. We have some options that can play in the defensive midfielder role for us if we need them to. At the back, though, we've seen Topley already. We know Reece Williams, this will possibly be his last season at the club. If we were to get a decent bid in for him, I might even consider selling him this summer. KDH, we know that he is a young star, another one of the academy kids that have come through for us. And the next academy defender is Tomas Griffith McMenemy, I think his name is. Not ready yet, but hopefully he'll get some tutoring and strengthen up for us. Connor Gosney, we know what he can do. He's been a star for us for many, many seasons now. We know that Michael Swift did a solid job for us last season. We have the new boy, Jake O'Halloran, who will hopefully develop into a very good defender, and Ryan Sears, who can fill in at centre-back for us if needed. Over to the right, where I was really hoping to strengthen. We haven't been able to do it just yet. I can't find anybody that is of better quality that's willing to join us. So Sears right now remains first choice. We know Gosney can play over there. Jay Jenkins is the other option right now. And I say it before, I'll say it again. Technically, I don't think he's quite good enough. Well, he's not good enough for Europe. So, yeah, it's a bit of a problem there. And the new boy, O'Halloran and Swifty, can play over there as well, but that's not their positions. On the left, Mullenstein. Technically, it looks as though he's overtaken Burke right now as the best left back. They'll share it until somebody sort of takes the shirt. But coming back from a broken leg, it might take Burke a little bit of time to get back up to speed. So it is good to have Mullenstein there. And the other main option over here is Robert Malone. We did have him out on loan at Afen Lido, I think it was last season. He did okay there. He's come back and hopefully he'll continue to develop for us. And that, of course, brings us to the goalkeepers. Rima Miles is the number one. I gave Hein a chance in the second leg of the European qualifying, and, well, he shipped 4 goals, so I think he stays second choice. And third choice right now is another of the youngsters. I'm not quite sure if he will ever make it for us, but he's third choice right now. So that's the squad we have ready for the start of the season. Was Champions League qualifying anyway. Let me know what you think of that in the comments. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you next time for Champions League qualifying against Norwegian champions Molde. Take care.